And finally, we need to create a culture of accountability within the profession.
Okay.
That means encouraging insolvency practitioners to report any misconduct they see.
Right.
And making sure that wrongdoing is dealt with swiftly and decisively.
It's about sending a clear message that unethical behavior won't be tolerated.
Right.
This case has really exposed some serious flaws in the system.
It has.
Hopefully, it will serve as a wake-up call for the insolvency profession to make some real changes and regain the public's trust.
I agree.
Yeah.
The stakes are simply too high to let this kind of misconduct continue unchecked.
Yeah.
We need to learn from this experience and take steps to protect investors and make sure the insolvency process is fair and transparent for everyone involved.
This has been a truly eye-opening deep dive.
It has.
We've uncovered a complex web of corporate intrigue, potential misconduct,
Right.
and a devastating loss for ordinary investors.
It's a reminder that we can't take anything at face value.
Yeah.
We need to be critical thinkers, ask tough questions,
Right.
and demand accountability from those in positions of power.
Before we wrap up, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier about the importance of due diligence.
Sure.
For our listeners out there, what are some key things they should look for when considering an investment opportunity?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
First and foremost, be wary of any investment that promises unusually high returns with little or no risk.
Right.
Remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Don't let greed or the desire for a quick buck cloud your judgment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Always remember that higher returns usually come with higher risks.
And don't be afraid to walk away from an investment if you have any doubts or if something just doesn't feel right.
That's right.
It's better to miss out on a potentially profitable opportunity than to lose your hard-earned money in a scam.
That's right.
Trust your instincts. And don't let anyone pressure you into making a decision you're not comfortable with.
And remember, there's no such thing as a stupid question when it comes to investing your money.
Okay.
If something isn't clear, ask for clarification.
Right.
If you're not comfortable with the answer, walk away.
So after this deep dive into the High Street Group collapse, what are the key takeaways for our listeners?
I think the biggest one is that even in industries that seem well-regulated, things can go wrong.
Yeah.
And often it's the most vulnerable people who end up paying the price.
It's easy to assume that someone with Carrie Ann James's credentials and position would be acting with integrity.
Right.
But this case shows that we can't just take things at face value.
Right.
We need to be informed, ask questions,
Yes.
and hold those in power accountable.
And often it's the most vulnerable people who end up paying the price.
It's easy to assume that someone with Carrie Ann James's credentials and position would be acting with integrity.
Right.
But this case shows that we can't just take things at face value.
Right.
We need to be informed, ask questions, and hold those in power accountable.
Exactly.
It's a stark reminder that we can't simply trust people based on their titles or positions.
Yeah.
Whether it's an insolvency practitioner, a financial advisor, or anyone else handling your money due diligence is absolutely crucial.
Exactly. And it's not just about protecting ourselves.
Right.
By understanding these situations and recognizing the red flags, we can also help protect others who might be more vulnerable to these types of schemes.
That's a really important point. Knowledge is power.
Yes.
And by sharing what we've learned today, we can help empower others to make more informed decisions and avoid becoming victims of financial misconduct.
Absolutely. Think of it like this. If you learned that a certain type of car had a faulty braking system, wouldn't you want to warn your friends and family?
Of course.
It's the same principle here. The more people who understand how these schemes work and what to look out for, the harder it will be for those who try to take advantage of others.
This deep dive has definitely uncovered more questions than answers, and that's precisely why it matters.
Yeah.
We can't afford to let stories like this slip through the cracks.
Right.
We need to shine a light on these practices and demand better protections for investors.
I agree. This case underscores the crucial need for transparency and accountability in corporate governance.
Yeah.
It's a stark reminder that even individuals in positions of authority can be involved in questionable dealings.
Right.
As informed citizens, we must remain vigilant, ask tough questions, and demand answers.
So to wrap things up, here's a final thought-provoking question for our listeners. What safeguards could be put in place to better protect investors from situations like the High Street Group collapse?
Mm-hmm.
What systemic changes could prevent something like this from happening again?
That's the question we all need to be asking.
Yeah.
It's a complex issue with no easy solutions. But it's a conversation we need to have.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's about creating a fairer, more transparent financial system that works for everyone, not just a select few.
This has been a truly insightful deep dive into a complex and troubling case.
It has.
We've learned about the potential pitfalls of corporate structures, the importance of due diligence,
Right.
and the need for greater transparency and accountability in the financial world.
It's a reminder that we all have a role to play in protecting ourselves and each other from financial misconduct.
Yeah.
By staying informed, asking critical questions,
Right.
and demanding better from those in positions of power,
Right.
we can help create a more just and equitable financial system for everyone.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Thank you.
We'll be back next time with another fascinating exploration of a topic that matters to you.
See you then.
Until then, stay curious, stay informed, and stay vigilant.